We start with a point.
Hi, it's Rob Bryant, and back with you once again in the Imagining the 10th Dimension video blog. Today's entry is called When's a Knot, Not a Knot. I'm going to start out by giving you a link to a movie that it's divided into two parts. If you do have 16 minutes, it's well worth a watch, and it's the basis of what we're building this blog entry around. So I'll presume that you've gone and watched that, and now you're back. Last blog, in an expanding 4D sphere, we talked about how tricky it can be to imagine extra dimensions. I mentioned the recently proved Poincaré conjecture, which should now be more correctly known as the Poincaré theorem, which says our universe is a 3D sphere on the surface of a 4D hypersphere. That's not an easy image to hold in the mind. These ideas and the above ideas that we looked at in the movie that you're just back from watching are part of the study of topology. And since all of the extra dimensions are spatial, looking at topology as a way to help us imagine extra dimensional shapes and patterns makes perfect sense. The Wikipedia article on knot theory takes these ideas about n-dimensional shapes and patterns even further. If you're interested in the explorations above, please read that article. For me, the point of looking at these extra-dimensional shapes is it helps us to imagine how extra-dimensional patterns representing memes, genes, and spimes could rise and fall in the same way that a hypercube would grow, mutate, and shrink as it passed through our 3D world. In one of my most discussed blogs of all time, Hypercubes in Plato's Cave, I showed an animation of a rotating 4D hypercube. Check that blog out if you're not familiar with those kinds of visualizations. How would our own reality look if you could see more than just 3D? Watch this interesting video I'm giving you a link to now and think about how similar it is to watching a rotating hypercube. Okay, now if you've got 10 minutes to just meditate on some interesting images that tie into those ideas about imagining shapes that are outside of our normal space-time, here's a video for you by a YouTube user called 77G Slinger, and it's related to Walter Russell's idea of twin opposing vortices that create our observed universe and its underlying patterns. Imagining the rotating helix used for my project's logo as incorporating these ideas is something I talked about in my blog entry on Nassim Haramein. While the other dimensions are involved in the creation of more specific patterns, at the core of this image is a line joining the 0 to the 10, and we can think of the 0 as representing the drive towards the infinitely small, and the 10 as representing the drive towards the infinitely large. Everything else is just cross-sections, interference patterns, created by those two interlocking patterns. Though neither of these gentlemen are talking about extra dimensions, Nassim Haramein and Walter Russell appear to be talking about similar ideas to mine in that regard. And in The Holographic Universe, we took a look at an example of just how far this idea of our reality coming from interference patterns can be taken. Now, 77G Slinger attaches the following note I'm going to read to you to the video that I've just given you a link to. The physics of Russell's cosmology also explains the free energy implosion technologies of the great Austrian water wizard Victor Schauberger. Schauberger invented implosion turbines in the 30s and 40s in Austria and Germany. This implosion physics defies academic physics and makes academic theory provably obsolete, and the professors pushing these socially engineered lies as well. For a detailed account of the free energy technologies of Victor Schauberger and Walter Russell, implosion physics, biomimicry, scalar mechanics, and the many types of free energy technologies currently in existence, please see the link. As regular viewers of this video blog know, I wrote 26 songs to accompany this project about ways of imagining how our reality is created. To finish, let's look at one of my most popular YouTube music videos. This one is about conspiracies and the patterns that underlie our universe. As I've said elsewhere, when you're looking at these complex interactions, sometimes it can be hard to extricate what is really a conspiracy and what is just a bunch of stuff that happened. And likewise, sometimes it can be very difficult to say when a knot is not a knot. What's keeping you from getting to the best possible you that already exists within the multiverse? Next blog entry, we're going to be looking at another of the polls that have been over at the text version of this blog. This one is number 41. Is creativity a quantum process? My name's Rob Bryanton. Enjoy the journey.
I believe in secret societies and underground confederacies that move in my life. I believe there are sisterly sororities and brotherly fraternities, and they're part of my life. And there are signals and there are signs right before us all the time. But we stumble deaf and blind, 'cause we never realize there are wheels that turn that we never see. There are eyes that are watching you and me. There are tears people cry 'cause they'll never be free, trapped in the arms of a secret society. I believe the guy sitting next to me waits for a sign for me to show him I know what he needs, or maybe what I need from him, but he won't ever let me in. It's a common tableau. Yes, it happens all the time. We're all sending out signs, 'cause we all need to know who our friends are, who the foe. 'Cause there are deals that are struck that play with our dreams, and there are figures who move in places unseen,